Okay, so we're continuing to talk about the monastic mind and the prayer for monastic mind. So I think last time I talked about I will take care to act and speak at suitable times and in appropriate ways, abandoning idle talk and disruptive movements. Did I do that one? Okay, so that's what I thought. So then the next one is with respect for others and confidence in my good qualities, I will be humble and easy for others to speak to. Who, me? Yeah, easy to speak to? I'm always easy to speak to. Always. You just have to say the right thing and not accuse me of anything I didn't do and speak politely to me. And then, of course, I am so easy to speak to. But if you don't watch the way you communicate, then you get that right in return. But I'm always easy to speak to. Right? Do you have that attitude too? Yeah? Oh, some of you are not agreeing. Oh, dear. Okay. Glad there's some perfect people around here. so, um, so, with respect for others, yeah, and having confidence in our own good qualities. So we start with that as a basis. In other words, our basis, our MO of approaching people is not suspicion. What are they going to say to me? What are they going to accuse me of doing? Are they going to harm me? What can I get out of them? Okay, so we have to be quite careful and really watch our mind of our usual attitude with which we approach other living beings. Yeah, because it's so easy to have that attitude of, are they going to help me or are they going to harm me? And I better be ready in case they harm me, because I don't want to be harmed. And when we have that attitude of, I don't want to be harmed, we often see harm where there is no harm because we're so sensitive to it. As they say, pickpockets see pockets. When they meet somebody, that's what they see. Yeah, they don't see much else about that person. Yeah, so if we approach people with this kind of, are they going to help me or harm me, and I better be set to defend myself attitude, then that's what we're going to see in how we relate to them. So, very good to be really mindful of that, really aware of that. And then another thing, to prepare ourselves. And this works really well if you can remember it, which is, because sometimes we can see if somebody is going to give us feedback. The way the conversation starts. And it's always nice, of course, if when we want to give feedback, we say to somebody, is this a good time to give you some feedback and get their permission? That kind of gives them a warning, not a warning, but, we see because they may be really busy or they may have to go to the bathroom or who knows what's going on in their lives. Okay, so if we can see that some feedback is coming, to just say to ourselves, yeah, I've always wanted to learn how to improve myself. And here, somebody may give me some really useful information on how to do that. Yeah? So it's not, saying to ourselves, I can hear criticism coming. I can hear somebody giving me some wise advice, and that feedback does not entail criticism. Sometimes people may actually point out something we did well, and sometimes they may just point out an alternative way of doing things. Okay, so it isn't, if somebody, because some people are really sensitive about very small things. And, if somebody says, please put the, what do you call this? Whacker? Striker? Striker for the bell on this side, but you like to have it on that side because you're right-handed and it's easy to grasp, but somebody says, oh no, we always keep it on this side, or we always put the spatula, in this thing, we don't put it in that things. They're giving us that feedback does not mean we did it wrong. There is no judgment of right or wrong in terms of we put something here and not there. Or, today making this dish, we're going to cut the carrots this way, not that way. So we've got to take the right and wrong out of our mind, because we somebody gives us an alternative way of doing something or saying something, and we go, oh, I did it wrong. No, there's just different ways to do it. And, this person is suggesting doing it this way because maybe it's easier, or maybe, it's how we do it at the Abbey or whatever. Okay? So when we can see that someone is going to give us feedback, to remind ourselves, they're telling me another way to do something is not criticism. It doesn't mean I did something wrong. And they're here to help me. Yeah, they're going to give me some useful information. And then you listen to what somebody says. You become easy to talk to. You listen to what they say. And then you say afterwards, thank you. Okay? What we usually say is, but, or you don't understand that, or in this circumstance, this. Okay? And we usually go into defensive mode. Yeah? So just a suggestion about where to put the striker, or what temperature the water in the thermos should be before you use it, or where to put the vacuum cleaner and how to put it away properly, or when to empty it, let alone, these are tiny things, but boy, do we get defensive about them, let alone big things. Yeah. And then to just say, thank you, and I'll think about it. And then go and think about it. It doesn't mean we have to believe all the feedback we get. Okay? We don't need to believe it. It's just somebody else's opinion. And it's worth as much as our own opinions are. Yeah? So if you think your opinions are always right, then you're going to think everything they say about you is always right too. So check up. Are your opinions always right? Okay. If you see opinions as opinions, and that's what they are, yeah, then, okay, this is how somebody feels about something. I'm not that person. I don't know their background, but, this is either how they feel, or this is how they see the situation, or whatever. And so you listen, and we realize that we don't have to say yes, but, and then explain to them what our truth is. Thank you very much for not understanding me. Now I'm going to give you some information. Okay. Yeah. But take it in and then really think about it, and this is hard, because I don't know about you, if somebody tells me something that I don't agree with, yeah, I instantly, not just want, but need to tell them my side of the story. Okay, yeah. And I find that when I need that and I put that out, usually the rest of the conversation doesn't go very well. Yeah. If I don't understand completely what they're saying, if I say, could you explain that a little bit more? Yeah. And then maybe they say it, or sometimes saying it, could you please say that in a different way? I don't feel like I'm understanding what your point is. Say something like that gives the other person an opportunity to explain it more or say it in a different way, because very often that clears up the whole thing. And then listen, take it away, if your mind is still going, why do they talk to me like that? I can't stand it. They're trying to control me and bossing me around and around. If that's going on in your mind, just go sit for a minute and get yourself calmed down. And then when you're calmed down, think about what they said. Yeah, because it may have some value. It's like sentient beings. They really, some of them, not so many, but some of them know more than we do. Or some of them may have a better take, a more realistic perspective on the situation. So before we dismiss it, give ourselves some time to think about it. Yeah. And some people we will agree with, and some people we won't. Yeah. We don't always have to tell the people we don't agree with that they're wrong, or even tell them that we don't agree with them. Yeah. Sometimes we can just say, that's an interesting perspective. Yeah. I mean, Mary Grace, when she was driving to you got an Uber or somebody was taking you to the airport and it was a Trump supporter. And she had this great conversation with him in the car. And what made it a good conversation is she asked questions and she listened. And she didn't say, but, and you need to know, and this is the right way, And that opened up. I mean, you learned a lot from that. And you can really see how somebody else sees the world. And just being able to listen at first establishes a basis of trust. And then I'm sure if he had picked you up at the airport on the way home, the conversation would have been more, going two ways. Yeah. So, with respect for others and confidence in my good qualities, I will be humble and easy for others to speak to. Yeah, so the humble part means that we know and respect that other people have different ideas and different ways of thinking, and that we can learn something from all these different ways. Another thing that I've learned is if people give us feedback and what they say is true, to just right away say, yes, you're right. I did that. Or yes, you're right. I was pushing my idea on somebody. Because as soon as you say it, then the person feels heard, you're being transparent, and the conversation kind of stops there. So, yeah, many ways to deal with this kind of thing.